it is very important that end user drives the option. So based on our experience while working with industry giants, what we have observed that if you're using simply out-of-the-box options to build your UI, user experience is not that good. You have to introduce some kind of customizations in your product so that you are more closer towards building some kind of intuitiveness in the application. So the point that I'm trying to bring here is, out-of-the-box limitation is not always a reason for introducing customization in your MicroStrategy SDK platform. A business need, a functional need, or sometimes a rich user experience can also be one of the reasons for introducing customization in your web SDK layer. So with that, let's get started with agenda for today's session. I'll quickly talk about InfoCepts and who we are. We'll talk about the 5 use cases and the 6 frequently needed customizations that we have here. I'll also discuss about customization quick strike guide, and we'll also have a Q&A session in the end. So as I'll be going through 10 or 11 customizations in the next 20 or 25 minutes, so I'll not be able to get into in-depth details of each of those customizations. But if we have some questions on them, then I can definitely have a quick chat after the session. So talking about InfoCepts. So we have a 12+ year working history with our clients, helping clients to deliver value out of their data. So we are currently growing at a very healthy rate of close to 40% with an employee base of 700 in different countries. Number of active clients are 70+, with lifetime customers numbered around close to 200. So scalability is our main USP. So far, we have delivered complex MicroStrategy BI and other projects for global enterprises in 15 different countries and team sizes up to 125+ consultants. We have got a dedicated data visualization team. So basically, this is a team of highly skilled graphical designers, and these designers have learned the MicroStrategy tool. So they basically marry their visual expertise with MSTR BI capabilities, and they bring visual flares to MicroStrategy dashboards and mobile projects. We have also got a dedicated custom development team. So this team not only focuses on customizing MicroStrategy SDK, but this team also focuses on building custom solutions for big data and IoT projects. We are early adopters, so as Rahul said, we are beta participants for early releases of MicroStrategy so that we can bring latest and greatest to your projects. So we have, in past, we have worked on very complex projects. So we have built one of the largest custom BI projects, and then we have also built highly customized application. The most complex product that we have built so far, so it was a single project having more than 40+ customizations, and all of the customizations were done in Web SDK layer. These are the tools and technologies. Basically, these are all custom technologies that we work on. So I think these are the most cutting-edge technologies that exist on the planet right now in the custom world. So all the front-end and back-end technologies and all the databases. Starting with the use cases. So we'll start with MicroStrategy visualization builder. So we have got few visualization out of the box in MicroStrategy. But the problem with those visualizations are less intuitive, they are less interactive, and not all the business needs are sufficed by those visualizations. And then such kind of problems are basically solved by using third-party external charting libraries. There are a lot of third-party charting libraries available out there in the market. So to name a few, D3JS, C3JS, HighChart, Google Charts, etc., different third-party charting libraries. So we can kind of now include these charting libraries or charts from these charting libraries and can address our business needs. So MicroStrategy has really addressed need of the hour by launching Visualization Builder as one of the tools. The tool is, I think, is there in 10+ versions. This is basically a web-based tool using which you can create custom visualization, and basically you can create all custom HTML5 visualization, and you can basically consume and display MicroStrategy data. This visualization builder is not available out of the box. Currently it is available as a plugin. The plugin is available in both ASP and JSP form. So if you are working on the different layer, if someone is working on ASP layer, can import the ASP plugin, and if someone is working on the JSP arena, can do the JSP plugin. So this is how the UI of Visualization Builder looks like. So once you install the plugin, you get an additional option on the Create section, and the right hand section is completely the Visualization Builder. The Visualization Builder has got a couple of sections. So it has got a section for style, it has got a section for writing your JavaScript. Then there is a canvas. So once you have your style and JavaScripting code, you can view the exact chart on the right hand page. And then those icons are basically the icons which will come up once you're done with creation of your chart. So once you're done with configuration of your chart, what you can do is you can save your visualization, and this visualization will be available as a plugin. And if your plugin is generic enough, then you can use this plugin across multiple environments. So there are specific steps to be performed if you are introducing any kind of custom visualization of chart from any of the external charting libraries. So basically what you need to do is you need to create the plugin structure, you need to write the JavaScript code, you need to introduce the styling part, you need to register the icon, you need to register all the styles. So those who are already working on customization arenas, they must be familiar with these steps. So MicroStrategy is now really good when it comes to integration of D3.js based charts. So there are already tons and tons of charts that are available in D3.js library, almost more than 200 or 300 charts which can solve your business needs. But there are few libraries which are built on top of D3.js, like C3.js, which are much more advanced than D3.js. C3.js is basically, C3 stands for comfortable, customizable, and controllable. So those charts are kind of more intuitive than D3.js based charts. So what we have done here is along with inclusion of D3.js based chart, we have also included a lot of C3.js based charts. So all the examples that we would be seeing here are basically charts from C3.js library. So in order to include, so once you include, inclusion of D3.js part is kind of very easy in MicroStrategy. The charts which are typically hosted on GitHub, they are using all static file. They are getting the data from static file, not from actual service or something like that. So you will have to do little code changes. Along with, you have to change the way that the way data gets consumed. You need to remove all references of the static file, and accordingly, you need to make your MicroStrategy reports and your charts aware that you are now getting the data from service and not from the file. So and then when you are going to work on the charts, which are basically from C3.js library, along with doing all these changes, you will have to do certain extra changes in terms of parsing your data. So C3.js based charts are not really aware of how MicroStrategy data looks like. So all the axis configuration, what is going to be there on x-axis, what is going to be there on y-axis, how the legends would be configured, how the regions on the chart would be configured. All those things are, you will have to take extra effort to make your code understand that. So there are few changes that you need to write in terms of your JavaScript code in order to make your C3.js charts aware about MicroStrategy data. So this is the VI dashboard, and then what we have done here is, this is again a C3.js based chart. This is a multi-line chart, and then we have introduced a couple of custom options in the VI dashboard. So all the charts which are coming up from here to here are all the default charts that shipped with MicroStrategy, and these three charts are something that we introduced in the MicroStrategy as part of customization. So here you can see a multi-line chart, a scattered plot chart, and a stack bar chart as well. The main feature that C3.js chart offers is the kind of tooltip that you get here is completely customized tooltip, and you also get a good legend interactivity. So you can click on any specific legend and you can turn on and turn off the display of specific legend. So the interactivity that is offered here is really nice compared to D3.js based charts. Then we've also got the stack bar chart, again same, a highly interactive tooltip and the interactivity on legends. Then this is the scattered plot chart that we have integrated. It can display data from multiple attributes and multiple metrics. Then we can also integrate the hierarchical chart. Currently this is showing some dummy example, but in order to understand it really good, we can have our data displayed, hierarchical data displayed really nicely using these kind of charts. The next chart is Galaxy chart. This one is my favorite. So basically what happens here is, it is a way to represent the hierarchical data and the value of the category here. So This is a category, I can say. So value of the category is equal to sum of the value of its children. Also, the size of node here is proportional to the value associated with that node, and then the children's are radically arranged in the descending order of their values. So these are like different visualizations we can include in our VR dashboards based on our business needs. And there are really tons and tons of charts available in external charting libraries. So using D3JS is really an ease now. And if you're planning to use charts from other libraries like C3JS, definitely additional efforts are involved, but you can also include those charts as well. So this was one of the use case. So one more use case here, one more type of chart. So this is simple bar chart, and what we see here is the values are ranging from 0 to 350, and the reference line is set at 100. But what if I need to have some kind of customization over my reference line itself? So what if I need to show all the values which are below 100 on the negative kind of axis, and all the values above 100 on the top. So we can also set customization on the reference axis as well, using all custom charts or external charting libraries. So these kind of customizations can also be done. So this was about visualization builder. The next use case is about application layout and navigation. So whenever you are introducing MicroStrategy as a reporting tool in your organization or in your projects, you either use MicroStrategy as a standalone application or you integrate it along with your portal. And it is really important that you provide direct and easy access to most commonly used features. And if your navigation from portal to MicroStrategy application is not seamless, user might feel disconnected or distracted. So it is really important that you set up a seamless navigation between your portal and MicroStrategy application. Now, the page that you see here on screen is completely custom page. It is developed in extended JavaScript and Java J2E technologies. It is leveraging service-oriented architecture, and it is displaying all the contents by talking to MicroStrategy task calls or MicroStrategy service calls. There are basically different sections on this page. There is my template section, then there is a report section, and then there is favorite section as well. So my template is basically responsible for rendering all the documents that you have in your project, and report is basically responsible for displaying all the report that you have got in your MicroStrategy project. So this is a completely custom display of whatever information that you get on default MicroStrategy page. Now what happens is basically you can click on any specific document, or you can click on any specific report. A prompt page will be displayed if a report or document has prompt. So what we have done here is, as part of this complete custom application, we have created a completely customized prompt page as well. So if you open up any document or any report, a custom prompt page would be displayed. Once you submit the prompt answers, again the prompt answers are submitted using prompt answer XML. It is not the usual, it is not the usual way, we run the reports in MicroStrategy application. As it is a completely custom page, the prompt answers are submitted through prompt answer XML, and the report is run. Now, MicroStrategy gives you three options to display the report, to display your data. First is report, second is document, and third is dashboard. So most of the people end up using dashboard as the option, and usually reports and documents are sidelined. So it's because the way information gets represented in a report or a document is not following best practices for UX designs. Sometimes the real estate that is available on the screen for reports and the dashboards, it is not utilized well, and in some cases, few of the UI components that were not supposed to get a lot of user attention, they end up getting a lot of attention. So, let me display or show a multi-section document. So this is a typical MicroStrategy document. Herein, it is a multi-section document. So the very first section is the title section. That section is displaying the information about all the prompt answers that were selected for execution of the document. And then we have got selectors. Then there is this grid, and then we have a scroll appearing up here. So actually there is a lot of there is a lot of content on this document, and it is currently hidden because of this particular scroll. Now this document also has a chart section, and also a map section. So it is a multi-section document displaying title, selectors, grids, charts, and map. So ideally, if I am an end user, so the primary section or the focus section that should appear on the screen should be a grid, because I'm mostly communicating or getting data out of my grid or chart or graph. but what is getting displayed here is title section and the selectors. So this is the typical problem that we face in any MicroStrategy project. And in order to solve this problem, what we have done is we have built a completely custom document layout. So you can control the display or layout of your MicroStrategy document using MicroStrategy Web SDK. There are a lot of transforms available which are responsible for rendering a couple of sections of your documents, and you can customize each of these sections. So this is the vanilla or out-of-box display for a typical document, and this is how it is displayed after customization. So this is completely customized page, and as you see on the screen, the left pane is completely gone. The document is divided into multiple sections as per requirements. So we now have a table section, we have a chart section, and we also have a map section. The information that was represented in the previous slide, so there was a title section. Now we have removed that section completely, and we have provided a couple of buttons there. So there is a button to view all the title information. So whenever user clicks on that specific button, we can display a pop-up or some kind of overlay which will display all the title information in that overlay only, and as and when requested by user. So that way we are saving up some real estate on the screen, and we are driving users' attention on what is exactly needed. So there are a lot of customizations onto this page. To name a few, basically this is not how the grid appears in MicroStrategy. You have to really struggle hard to display colors on your subtotal rows. So all the subtotal rows here are colored differently. The page is completely divided into different sections. Each of the section is expandable and collapsible. So I can collapse my table section, and I go to my chart section, and I can view that specific section. Then we have also got 3 buttons on the top. So one is export, other is save, and third is options. So once you click on options, there are again variety of options appearing over there. So one of the options there is basically reprompt. So once you click on that option, a pop-up would come. You can re-answer your prompts, and you can run your report on same page. You need not go to some other page, or user navigation would not be disturbed. So that is how we have implemented a lot of customization on this particular page, and all these customizations are done using a class named RW Transform. So someone who is already doing customization must be aware of this class. So
and one quick question on the export button, is that like a hyperlink, or is that also a
yeah, so we are also going to talk about the export functionality. So MicroStrategy does a decent job when it comes to PDF export, but when it comes to Excel export, there is a lot of scope of enhancement. So we have also customized MicroStrategy export behavior. Usually MicroStrategy talks to iServer for getting the export data, but what we have done is we have directly made warehouse calls, and we have used third-party charting library named, third-party export library named as Aspos, that is responsible for displaying all your export information. So we'll also talk about that as one of the use cases in this presentation. Other use case is Google-like search. So everywhere, everybody is now using big data and IoT, and then organizations are now ending up doing reporting over large volumes of data. It is no more a small volume of data now. So one of the requirements that we were working on, so the data warehouse was really huge. The amount of data that was there in the warehouse was close to 600 gigs or 700 gigs, and doing reporting on top of data was not making any kind of sense. Or even if the reports were generated, the reports used to bring like 20 million or 30 million records, and then user was not able to get anything out of that specific data. So what we did was we built Google-like search engine for just doing just getting insights into the warehouse data. So there are a lot of features that are associated with the Google-like search implementation here. So the Google-like search implementation, in order to do this, what we've done here is we have used an external third-party search engine. So you must have heard about a lot of search engines, external search engines. So Elasticsearch, Spink Search, there are a lot of such types of external search engines. So the peculiar behavior about these search engines are they are able to process the data really fast. They are able to provide you a full database search, text-based search, wherein your search is not just restricted to a specific column. You can also search across a complete table or across multiple tables in your warehouse. And the time it takes to get a search result out of 20 million records or 30 million records is just like a couple of seconds. So that is the tool that we have used here. It is Ping Search. The use case is, as I told, we have integrated the search functionality with MicroStrategy reporting. So we were having 7 or 8 dashboards in our application, and each dashboard was having 7 to 8 reports. And the total volume of data that these kind of reports and dashboards were contributing was like 700 or 800 millions with, with almost 500 gigs of data. So if you see those numbers, I probably will not be able to zoom in here. So the numbers on the left, so basically when you do any kind of search, say you are searching for corn, then what will happen is that search query will go to your warehouse, it will talk to your Spring servers and bring all the results from all the dashboards. So on the left hand pane, what I see here is all my dashboards with count of all the search results. So corn is matching in my first dashboard for almost 3 million times. And all the results that are obtained here, the time it has taken to get all these search results is not more than 3 or 4 seconds. Now this entire page is lazily loaded, and all these search operations are divided into multiple steps. So there is a service call for displaying left-hand pane data, there is a service call for displaying right-hand side information. So all those things are taken care of so that there is really no performance lag while viewing the information.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Did you guys build this search functionality on the prompt itself, or this as a separate?
So this was a completely separate application. It was kept out of MicroStrategy project installations. So again, as I said, you can expand any one of the dashboards. You can view the matches in specific columns. There is a search on the top, and then there is a mini search. There are a lot of other functionalities wherein you can also refine your search. So if your search results are bringing like again millions and millions of records, what you can do is you can refine your search so that you end up getting less amount of data. And this is a refined search, and this was about the mini search implementation. Then we have also implemented a couple of other features. So whenever you work on Google, you get features like autocomplete, relevance ranking. So basically all of your search results are ranked by some order. So in Google, basically your search results are based on number of clicks. So there are like 2 links. Then the link which has got higher number of hits would get displayed first compared to the other link. So that is what we have done here as well. So we are getting an autocomplete feature. We have also implemented relevance ranking in our search application. And whatever search results that are coming up here, so basically these are all element prompt answers. So basically the selections, you can also see some checkboxes there. So what user can do, user can select some checkbox out of here, and these basically selections are passed as prompt answers for running MicroStrategy reports. So that is how we enable integration of MicroStrategy web application with the search-based web application. So the next use case is editable grid functionality. So basically the grid with the default grid which we get out of the box with MicroStrategy is not interactive enough. There are like a couple of functionalities which are missing out of that particular grid. So if we go to any kind of custom application, the grids are usually more intuitive and interactive. So what we have tried to done is we have integrated a custom grid which is dual in nature. So it is transactional as well as interactive. So let me quickly display the snapshot of the specific grid. So the grid in here, it has got a lot of columns here. So few of the columns are editable and few are not, but there are really a lot of features on the specific grid. So on the top left, there is a column based search, so you can select any specific column and you can search in that column only. Then there is also search across entire grid. The total number of rows are displayed, and the pagination is also implemented. So the pagination which is implemented here is completely client-side pagination. So typically when we work with MicroStrategy applications and the page size is really high or number of records are really high, what happens is you get a pagination, and on click of specific page, a call goes to iServer to get the further chunk of data. So that is not the case here. Entire data is cached on the client side, and all of the records are displayed at once, and the pagination is also implemented. Apart from that, you can save a single row and you can save multiple rows as well. There is one more feature here, so I can also view the history of changes. So this is an overlay for viewing the history information. So how many edits were done by what user, or what changes were done by that specific user. Such kind of completely custom grids can also be built inside Web SDK layer with the help of customizations.
So think of transaction being used for the editable fields?
Yeah, there is transaction. We are using transaction services. I mean, whenever you do some kind of edit over there, the call goes to transaction services for writing back the data into database.
So was there a reason you guys removed the pagination?
Yeah, so basically we did not want, I mean, even like what was happening was there were like 700 records and kind of like the pages were displayed in chunk format. So every time client used to click on next page, the service call used to go, and sometimes the response from my server was not that fast. The response for page 1 used to come in 2 seconds, but response for page 1, because of some kind of instability in my server, the response for the next set of pages used to come in like 10 or 15 seconds. So what we did was we cached the entire data, and then response for the very first page was really lightning fast. So all of the records were displayed in just like the entire result set used to come in 5 seconds. So that is how we
So
implemented.
you guys
cached
cached the
Yeah.
entire data?
Yes.
So was there any rendering problem? Like
No, as I said, for displaying all those records, the grid was currently in that grid has just 700 records, but we also tried like grid having a large set of data, so like 15,000 records or 20,000 records. But as the data model was not complex enough, so the grids, I mean, the records were displayed really fast.
So caching in the sense you are retaining that for a period of 24 hours?
Yeah, we can set some kind of expiry time over cache. So the
It's
expiration.
like report-based caching, but not like queuing or something.
It is like completely custom caching again. So we used to expire the cache once the user session was ended. So that is how, I mean, there are some specific settings.
Would that increase the load on the ISO?
No.
If suppose there are 15,000 reports
Mhm.
and we enable most of these cache enabled.
Yeah, for those kind of implementations wherein you're having large set of users and large number of reports, implementation of these kind of grids is not scalable enough.
Because caching
This kind of
is
approach is really nice when you're having less number of concurrent users and less number of reports in your application.
Only managed.
Yeah. And quickly going to the another use case, so custom landing page. Whatever landing page we get in MicroStrategy, it is according to MicroStrategy UX, wherein there is specific representation of how my report should get displayed, how recent report should get displayed, how the document should get displayed, how dashboard gets displayed. But these requirements are not always acceptable by some clients. So there was one specific client of ours who was expecting a completely custom dashboard for landing page itself. So what we have done here is we have created a separate copy of MicroStrategy metadata. The metadata was stored in Postgres, and it was storing some minimal information. It was not storing the entire information which a typical MicroStrategy metadata stores. So what we stored was the project details, metric details, attribute details, fact, and all those things. And this smaller set of information was saved in the Postgres, and we created this custom page for rendering whatever projects that are there in a typical MicroStrategy installation or setup. So currently what you see here on the top, there are 3 tabs: North America, city deals, and global. So basically these are 3 different MicroStrategy projects. Each of the project displaying some content about attribute, metrics, and some kind of trend about whatever information is there in that specific project. On the bottom section, there are different types of quick links based on whatever requirements that were there. So these are again like completely custom links which are basically running the reports with some specific prompt answers. So going to few frequently needed customizations. So when we work with client projects, the very typical customization or very frequent need is customizing look and feel of how MicroStrategy interface appears. So usually MicroStrategy interface is red, yellow kind of interface. Not everybody likes that interface. So customizing this interface is a very basic need and frequently needed customization. So this is something which we get out of the box or with vanilla MicroStrategy, and this is completely customized version of the landing page. So this is just one example, but we can customize the look and feel in multiple ways based on client's needs. So and then the beauty of this is all this work which we are doing is captured, all this information is captured in a specific plugin only. So come tomorrow, I need to use this plugin for some other environment, for some other client, I can simply plug out that plugin, and basically I can plug it in some different environment and have this customization ready for that project, for that environment. Then again, we have customized the report output page, so we have already discussed this thing earlier. Now, MSTR prompt page. So how many of you like the way how MicroStrategy prompts are displayed right now? I mean, with recent installations or recent versions. Basically, based on my experience, nobody likes the way prompt gets. I mean, nobody likes them. The way they gets displayed, the way they are styled, the way hierarchy is handled. So very few people like them. And then there are few specific problems. So when you are working in use cases wherein you have got prompt within prompts or dependent prompts or hierarchical prompts, wherein basically a parent prompt is also going to have some kind of child prompt. So what MicroStrategy does in that case is all the parent prompts are displayed on one page and all the dependent prompts are displayed on next page. So this is a typical behavior that MicroStrategy has been implementing since not sure for what reason, but this is something that people are not used to. They used to see the dependent prompt as well as child prompt on single page. Again, if you have got some conditional prompts that on click of few specific prompt answer, few another set of prompts should be displayed. So such kind of custom request cannot be catered with MicroStrategy prompts. So what we have done here is we have built a completely custom prompt page for displaying MicroStrategy prompts. So this is a completely custom interface developed in extended JavaScript and Java J2E technologies. So and this is kind of we can say the user-friendly prompt page. So all the prompts, the summary of those prompts is displayed in the left pane. So whatever styling that currently MicroStrategy supports, so if you have not answered the prompt, it will show a cross mark. If we have answered a specific prompt, it will show a right mark. Then basically we are also displaying the hierarchy information. We have also specified the search feature, or we have also implemented the search feature on top of each prompt. Then there are some additional features as well. So whatever data I'm getting on this prompt page, it is completely lazy data. So currently this prompt displays all the geography information. So whenever you are going to click on specific state, only on that specific click, you are going to get information about the lower hierarchy. So basically all the cities in that state or all the zip codes under that specific city. So such kind of a lazy implementation is done. Apart from that, we have also basically implemented the conditional prompt behavior. So there are two radio buttons here. So the first radio button is select the level of detail for your report, and the other is do you want to add summarized report. So for the second option, there are like two options, yes and no. So if you are saying no, then the number of prompts that you are going to see on screen are just 9. But when you are going to say yes, you will also get to see 2 additional prompts. So the overall prompt number, the number of prompts on the screen will go up to 11. So such kind of conditional prompt display or handling conditional prompts can also be implemented.
So is this acting as a dummy prompt to show additional prompts?
Yes, but it is like completely custom behavior. It is not at all doing anything with MicroStrategy prompts. So
Yeah,
it
just
is,
like you just created
yeah, we are like providing users some intuitive options to select prompt answers. Then yeah, so as I said, this is completely custom prompt page. So once user is done with prompt selection, so what happens is MicroStrategy is able to execute the report by accepting the prompt answers in prompt answer XML format. So there is a specific format that MicroStrategy understands for consuming the prompt answer information. There is a specific format for value prompts, specific format for object prompt, and element prompt. So there are different formats for each of them, and you can this particular page is having almost all those types of prompts. So in the end, we are constructing that prompt answer XML, and we are executing or sending the request to iServer for getting us the report data. So this is the customization that we've done on the prompt page. Then there are a few minor customizations just for like look and feel. So this is a VR dashboard, and one of the requirement was on the dashboard we should display some kind of calendar, and on calendar user can select start date and end date, and once user selects the start date and end date, pass this start and end date as a prompt answer and re-execute the report behind the scenes. So this is something that is not really possible or like not intuitive enough in MicroStrategy out of the box or vanilla implementation, and this is something we have customized on the dashboards. So the dashboards, the way they are customized recently is changed. Initially there were multiple modes in which you could see MicroStrategy dashboards. Now presentation mode is the only mode which is being more popular, and MicroStrategy is eliminating support for remaining modes. So there is a special way you customize presentation mode. So in version 10, it is now OIVM page. This dashboard page is called as OIVM page, which is basically optimized interactive view mode. So you have to go to that specific page for doing all the necessary customizations. Then it is also possible to implement the drill downs on specific widgets that you have got. So MicroStrategy also supports drill down, but again, if your requirement is very peculiar, very customized, then you can implement a custom drill down behavior. So what happens in that is you can click on specific point on the graph, and you can do whatever you want to do behind the scenes. So in this case, the requirement was whenever user clicks on a specific point, capture that point information, take the prompt answers, do something else from some other reports, take a prompt answers from other reports, from saved reports, and execute some other reports and open it in some new tab. So those are some custom requirements that we have implemented using the drill downs. Then regarding export, so as I told,
edit links in the thread.
in this dashboard, no,
What
there are no
efficiently
edit links.
you use to render that?
So basically the requirement was
TaskRock or
sorry.
TaskRock?
Yeah. So basically, as I told, we needed to get information from previously saved reports, getting their message IDs, getting their previous state, and then executing some other dashboards in new tab. So that was implemented using MSTR task calls, task services. Then the custom export option. So as I told previously, MicroStrategy does a decent job with PDF exports, but not with the Excel. So this is again the export from a completely customized document that we have seen in the initial use cases. When you do a MicroStrategy export, you get to see, you can select what section needs to be exported. So same way, we have also implemented this sectional export. You can see what section, or you can select what section you need to export. So you can select if you want to export title section, grid section, chart section, or map section. So, and this is the export which was implemented using the third-party exporting library named as ASPOS. Now, this is way much cleaner than the export that MicroStrategy provides. So herein, all the column headers on the left pane, they are logged. Basically row headers and column headers, both of them are logged, and user can easily navigate through whatever data that is there on the grid. So such kind of exports are not possible via MicroStrategy out of the box implementation. Then if you have got really large number of attributes or metrics in your reports, then what happens is all the data that comes in the exported Excel sheet, that entire data is scrambled. Sometimes if you are going to print the specific information, consider that you have got 5 attributes and 5 metrics, and you do an Excel export and you are now taking print out of the specific Excel. So what happens is the Excel output or the print is completely scrambled. On one page there is information of all the attributes wherein no metrics are present, and on the other page there is information of all the metrics and no attributes are present. So such kind of export really doesn't make any sense when I cannot combine attribute and metric information and do some kind of correlations or take some kind of decisions. So with ASPOS export, or the exports using custom charting library, what you can do is you can have a fine level of control as to what Excel setting needs to be done before executing any kind of export. So you can also set what can be my repeating columns, what can be my repeating rows once the Excel gets exported. So this is something that is achievable via ASPOS library, and we have implemented it for a couple of documents for a couple of our clients. So and once you print such kind of exports, the information is never scrambled. All the attributes and metric information is, that information, that association is intact, and you can really conclude something out of that specific report or out of that specific print. So that is like almost about all the use cases and customizations that we have implemented. There are a lot of other customizations we have implemented for our clients, but these are like the peculiar ones or the frequently needed ones. While doing customizations, you really need to take a great care about the cost of that specific customization. So what happens is there are some like minor upgrades for MicroStrategy, and then there are some major upgrades. So if you are moving from version 9 to 10, it is a major upgrade, and in some cases, whatever customization that you have done on version 10 say version 9, and if you're moving to some higher version, then all the customizations that you have implemented might not work. So you have to be really very careful that you are not doing any kind of hard coding in your plugin for implementing any kind of customization. And if you at all upgrade to any higher version, you really test it nicely so that you are aware that whether that correct plugin is functional or not. Then MicroStrategy customization quick strike. So this is the program that InfoCepts has launched. So in this program, basically what we do is we let you, we make you aware about the customization capabilities, what kind of customizations can be implemented in MicroStrategy. So basically the customizations in MicroStrategy can be classified into 3 different categories: simple, medium, and complex. Simple ones are basically simply styling change. Medium ones are the ones in which you are altering the workflow, and the complex ones are the ones in which you are completely changing the functionality. So we make you aware about all of those customizations, basically 2 customizations from each level of complexity. And we also give you a sandbox where you can practice all these customizations. So the quick strike guide is available for the ones who are like intended to do customizations on, or planning to do customizations on their MicroStrategy platforms. Apart from that, I mean, we have also worked upon creation of a customization library. So almost like so far, I've been associated with InfoCepts since last 6 or 7 years, and so far we have worked on almost 70 or 80 customizations. So what we have done is we have generalized all these plugins, and we have kept these plugins as part of customization library. It is again a different application which is hosting all this information about whatever customizations that we have done, and it is having really nice detail about what the specific plugin does, what was the before state, what was the after state. And if you go through those examples, you will really find yourself comfortable in implementing customizations for your BI platforms. So this was all about customizations. Any questions?